cultures are different. Every business, the culture is different. Geographically, you have different cultures. The company I work for, we are multi-regional. We are Barbados, we are here.
Yeah.
And even within the organization,
Yeah.
we have different cultures. Trinidad culture is different to Barbados culture.
And the sales, from the marketing, from the finance. And so, what is the challenge with university? So, what you're saying is you actually think
One
that
thing
sometimes.
it's good if they can get the work experience along with, if there's a way that they can do it, because then they're able to merge the two. But when you go into an organization straight from university and you're expecting something based on what you have studied, it's not always the same.
Yeah.
And the organization struggle then with trying to get that individual, which they are most likely paying big bucks for because they are from out of university. They are struggling with the attitude to the work, attitude.
So, if you had advice for I'm teaching a class, right? To some super smart, very hardworking students at University of Toronto. What are the three biggest attitude problems that they come in with? And what are the three biggest attitude that they should take? In your opinion, it's fine.
It's not across the board. So I would,
But it's not across the board. But
now you have
yeah.
some that come out with really good attitudes. Yes, they understand that what they are doing is theoretical and that the practical is necessary. But then you have others who figure, well, I'm from the university, so they tend to look down on, like, let's say the front desk person. Or,
Yeah.
Because you hire them as a, let's say, a financial consultant.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that you can learn something from everybody. That person may not have had a university
Yeah.
graduate degree, but they have something that they have learned from a practical standpoint that you cannot learn by sitting on a class.
And for example, like the front desk person is an administrator, and a lot of people in their jobs, if they can't do administration, what are the problems they have?
When you say they can't do what you mean?
Like for example, if they're not good at administrative tasks, like for example, some people say, I don't want to file paperwork, that's not my job. But the kind of person who files paperwork learns skills, right? That a software developer needs and a manager needs, right? And
I think it all has to do with the attitude. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to do with the position. Like,
okay,
there's a particular client that we go to that buys furniture from us.
you okay to put this
And
online?
yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, and that particular front desk person, when the client goes to them, when our guys go to them, she will actually sometimes if there's a chair or something, she'll pick up the chair, she'll run through, get the right person.
Yeah.
She's interactive. That is her attitude. Yeah, you might feel that she's just a receptionist, but her attitude to it.
And why is that attitude important for software developers? Why is that attitude important for like startup entrepreneurs? I want these students to know, in your opinion.
I think attitude is everything.
But what's an example of what they need to do differently,
Have an open mind to learn. Leave the ego out. Leave the ego out. Have an open mind to learn. You must be able to learn. You can learn something from any and every.
Yeah.
So have an open mind. That will be my.
That's the thing.
I tell every young person right from the
And can you think of an example of a behavior that if you have an ego and you're not open, you do behavior A, but if you're open to learning and you don't have an ego, you do behavior B. I want to help make it concrete so they could see what they could. Here's what not to do, here's what to do. Like if you can think in the past month or two of something you've seen someone do, or something you did when you were younger, right? Take your time. People enjoy. Ask questions.
I would say ask questions.
Okay.
That is the biggest thing. Ask questions from any and every day. I mean, I'm operations team lead. We manufacture furniture.
Yeah.
And I would go in the workshop and I would ask you guys, why are you doing this way? And I'm not questioning what they do.
You want to know
And
how
they
to do it.
Understand that. They
You wanna
I'm
understand.
not questioning their intelligence.
Yeah.
I'm asking, so why did you do it this way? And I learn from them.
Yes.
Right? Ask questions. You can do regardless of where you are. You always ask questions.
So maybe a good heuristic or good rule of thumb is if someone asks you to do something like a task, even if someone asks you, hey, have a guest lecture come in, or someone asks you to do assignment, and you don't ask any questions and write out, here's what I think you want me to do, you're probably on the wrong track. Because it's not so well defined.
You are going based on what you assume.
Test your assumptions, experiment with the assumptions, right?
I like to use the aviation. I love aviation.
Yeah.
I'm an aviation enthusiast, and I love to use, and I've applied aviation principles in our operations
Oh.
for great success. And asking questions is important. So, and always double check. We are,
Even when you think it's unnecessary, even when you think you're bothering someone.
even if you think you're bothering someone. Just for example, when before a pilot leaves, he has a flight plan.
Do you mind, could you give me an example from your job? Because my students, I want them to learn about what the railroad is like. So what's an example of operations where someone didn't ask a question or check an assumption and it had a negative effect and you wish they had?
You could have a simple thing like a color for a job. Like you may have done a job for a client. You may have done a whole floor in white.
Like, you
Right.
mean painting it?
No, full color furniture.
Oh, okay, sure.
They have done the whole furniture, the desks are white.
Yeah.
And then they may add on a manager's office
Yeah.
on that floor. And you may assume, oh yeah, that floor is white. You just do it in white.
Ah.
You didn't ask a question. You didn't ask the client, what color would you like it?
You didn't say, I'm thinking about what question colors, but the flooring, I think you're going to do white. Or do you also want something else?
Yes. Would you like your office in white, or what color would you prefer?
Yeah, like give
So
them
you can
options.
assume,
Don't just ask the question, but give
Right.
them
You
options.
assume, and you go and you just do
Yeah.
manager's office in white, and then he's upset. He said, I don't want white. I want something
Yeah.
else. And then you have another problem then. You have
Yes.
a customer relations that you have to do.
That's a really
You
good
know,
point.
ask questions. In our organization, we have built that culture of asking questions.
And it was hard to get people to do it, to build the habit.
Our culture is small. Our organization is small. So it wasn't. I would say it was difficult. It just took time to we didn't get any pushback. Oh, shucks, yeah, I should have asked.
I got
But
you, sure.
It wasn't any pushback. It was
I got
more,
you.
Have to get accustomed to.
That's great. So everyone, takeaways from the conversation. What are your next steps? What could you do differently? Write down like a note to yourself of like, instead of action A, I'll do action B. That was helpful for you students.